Hi Libra, welcome to your full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio reading for May 5th, 2023. Your theme for the next 2 weeks is the Wheel of Fortune, but this reading can last up until 6 months because of the lunar eclipse. But I give you this Wheel of Fortune for the 2 weeks. Okay, Wheel of Fortune, that's karma. That is, it's a change of luck. It's destiny, it's fortune, it's cycles, and it can be something that's unexpected. It's the ups and downs of life, of any situation, but the wheel keeps turning. So if you're at the bottom, you can find yourself at the top, and if you're at the top, you could find yourself at the bottom. But like I said, it just keeps on turning, so you'll find yourself back at the top again. Cycles. All right, let's see how that plays out for you. Again, full moons close out cycles, and this is a Three of Swords. Something that you're closing out can be feeling a little bit left out, or, excuse me, it's the separation card. So you could feel separate from people, you can feel separate from yourself. There can be a separation. Sometimes this is a third party. Sometimes this is just thinking that you're separate. Sometimes this is bad weather, like really rainy, bad, crappy, cloudy weather that just sort of brings us down into the doldrums. With that, you have the Queen of Wands. This is my Leo card. Can be a female that you are being separated from, or that you feel separate from. You could be feeling yourself as a Queen of Wands. She's a good energy. She has she's like, for me, she is the really good manifester, because she has the male solar outgoing energy that sends out a signal. But because she's a female, she has that magnetic draw it back to you energy. These are people that are very much into healing modalities, or very creative, highly creative people, funny. They get along well with other people. People usually like to be around them. They have a very attractive energy. And they can be physically attractive as well. But even if they aren't, they're just attractors. It's like, it's Leo, so there has some sunny energy with it. That's the sunflower. And who doesn't want to warm their hands by the sun? This person can be experiencing some emotional tribulation and mental. They go hand in hand with this card. They could be feeling some physical pain, or emotional or mental pain, or all three, which is quite difficult. We'll get more information as this goes on. But as this is closing out, the Wheel of Fortune is saying that it's very possible that you're heading up to the top, or this person is heading to the top of the wheel. Okay, so you have the Lover's card with that. Okay, so this can be a third party, where there's the Three of Swords and the Lovers together. I don't always attribute either one of them to romance, but it doesn't, again, have to be romance. It can just be a third party, or somebody who's interfering in a situation. We'll pull some more cards and get it all together in a minute, but I want to see. So the Lovers is how you're behaving, right? This is you. Maybe you're the third person, or maybe you're the one who needs to make a decision, because the Lovers is a crossroads. And it is interference of some sort. If you're going along a certain path and you hit a fork in the road and you have to decide, right? Left or right. So that fork in the road created a diversion, or at least another decision that needs to be made. But you may have some difficulty with that. or you don't know exactly how to handle this decision or what it is you should do. The Eight of Swords, eight is a lot of energy put behind a struggle, which would be a mental struggle of trying to do something. But the Eight of Swords is the card of the more you struggle, the more you kind of dig yourself into the mire. And so it's kind of asking you to relax and wait for the situation to turn back around in your favor, which is the Wheel of Fortune, right? Because there's a cycle here. And things will change. Now, it looks pretty, I mean, with the Three of Swords, it's a sadness for sure. And maybe you feel like you can't do something about it. I also find this interesting that the Wheel of Fortune is the karma card, so there could have been something that you did or that was done, and this is karma being played out. And it may not be you that had done it, maybe it was somebody else, but this is for me karma playing out here. Or at least it feels that way so far. Let's see how it continues. This is the result. And you have the Six of Swords, which is moving on. But it's also finding a quiet space to figure out what just went on, what just happened here, and kind of dealing and resolving issues from a quieter emotional standpoint. But it is definitely moving on with the notion that things are better in the future. And they are with the star. And this is what I mean by the Wheel of Fortune, right? Things are difficult in the beginning, but later on they get better. And that is the wheel, the cycles. Sometimes you're on the bottom, sometimes you're on the top. But it does look like this is closing out for you and you're moving towards something better when the star card appears. And this is definitely the card of being led, right? Following your star, following your hopes and your wishes. And it is, though, with the star card in the future. Star is far away, so it is something to look forward to in the future, that's for sure. All right. I don't know if somebody's going to give me a problem because because of her cartoon body. I'm sorry, but it makes me laugh. And I mean, I have it here too. I don't know what to do anymore. I think it's ridiculous. And I don't have that many viewers that it's going to bother. And I'm sorry if it does bother you, but it's just a physical body and it's a cartoon. I'm sorry. It makes me laugh. Okay, so let's get some clarification here. Somebody else could have moved on with the Chariot card. This is feeling more confident. This is taking control of situations. And now, there could be a few scenarios playing out here, and it's a general reading, so I'm going to say them. This can be somebody who decided to leave or to move on. They took their life into control and they left, causing some emotional upheaval. Or somebody else could have moved on from this person and they're feeling that emotional sadness or feeling of separation. But there is movement here. So I do feel like somebody left somebody else here. Now, whether it's this Queen of Wands who left the situation or someone left the Queen of Wands situation, we're still dealing with a bit of a broken heart and trying to mend heartache, because the Three of Swords is healing from a broken heart. So with the Chariot card there, it's very possible that they start to feel better, or you may start to feel better. It's taking control, and it's taking control because we have reconciled two opposing forces, two different sides of a situation, right? Two opposing forces. And the Lovers comes and then the Chariot comes afterwards. So you you have to kind of one has to reconcile those two opposites, make that decision, right? The Lovers is, I'm at a crossroads, I have to do something, and the Chariot is then carrying out that decision. But first we have to come to terms with, well, what am I going to do? And that's where the Lovers card is. But again, this person or this situation is getting under control now, which is good. Okay. You're behaving as a Page of Wands. Sagittarius for me. Okay, so a couple of fiery individuals here. Now, this is the younger behaving person. So maybe you don't have the chops to help, you know. This is the card of wanting to affect a solution, to do something. But this is the person who is, well, that's, I think it's very interesting as well, because he likes a good adventure. This person is my Student card, and it's a very expansive energy, so they want to expand their mind. And it's very possible that you've wanted to leave, or maybe you did leave a situation and you're feeling a little bit like, oh, what did I just do kind of energy. Or let's say you're going off to college, right? I mean, it's not quite the time yet, or you're leaving college. That's also possible, and leaving people and fun people behind. Or you're leaving a situation, you could be leaving some people behind to go out and start a new venture, a new opportunity, because the Page of Wands is that kind of energy. But we feel like our hands are tied with that Eight of Swords, and there does seem to be some resolution necessary where the Lovers are concerned. If there was a third party, the Page of Wands is definitely somebody who could be that person. I mean, fire anyway is pretty passionate, so, you know, passion can take you away from what is tried and true. And then it's possible that you regret it later, or they regret it later, or somebody is regretting it later. But there's not much that can be done with that Eight of Swords, except wait for things to turn around in your favor again. I will say this about the Page of Wands, though. Their motto, and I know quite a bit of Sagittarians, their motto is, even when I'm wrong, I'm right. So they do have this kind of, yeah, they have a pretty big ego. And they really believe it, but that's because they have a very strong philosophy, and they believe it wholeheartedly. But they also expect other people to believe it as well. So, yeah. Okay, so here you have the Ten of Pentacles. There is this need to communicate, to talk about things. This can be your daily life, and that may be what you are dealing with for this next 2 weeks, which is just daily life, right? It's get up, go to work, that kind of thing, come home, make dinner, read a book, and go to bed. But this seems to be a calming thing for you. Maybe you have been in a situation that was just a little too mental and emotional, and that could be a very good thing for you, to calm the nerves, to calm your mind. But I do really feel like there needs to be some conversation where this is concerned with the Ten of Pentacles. And this can be conversation with people who are in the know, people who've been through what you have been through, and can kind of like, they can relate. Let's put it that way. And this is very much a relation card. Who you relate to and how you relate to them, how you converse with them, how you talk to them. The Ten of Pentacles. This can also be financial negotiations or inheritance. But for me, the feeling here is, and especially with that Six of Swords, there's this feeling of needing to talk about what just happened. And when you do that, it seems to me like you release some emotional stuff. Now, the star is the water bearer because it's associated with Aquarius. Aquarius is the water bearer. And water holds information. So you can be releasing a lot of emotion and a lot of information that maybe you held in prior. But it's releasing it, you're letting it go. And to do that, you need to communicate it. Okay. I'm I am seeing though that there is a turn of the wheel here. Um, and I would also say that yes, karma is involved, but as long as you understand and you talk about it and you understand what has taken place, that resolves karma. And actually what karma is holding on to something. Okay? That's what karma is, and that's what causes more mishaps. If it's a negative karmic cycle, it's not being able to release or detach from something. And so you just keep it in your energy. And it kind of curls up in your energy and stays there, and it can be triggered by something else unless you talk about it, unless you release it, right? And that looks like it's very necessary here. You may feel like you can't do much about the situation other than talk to good friends or people around you. And like I said, people in the know, people who have been through what you've been through. What does Spirit want you to know? You have the Page of Swords. This is kind of, it's an ambitious card, but and it can be haste as well. Like, acting too soon on something, and that may have been something that happened here. We spoke too soon, we acted too soon, we left too soon, we had a dalliance too soon. It can be something like that. But the Page of Swords for me is very much a card of somebody who's a bit of a detective, and so maybe you found something out that you didn't want to, or someone else did. But it is really like trying to clear the clouds of the mind, trying to figure it out. And that's what I mean by communication with the Ten of Pentacles. It would be really good for you to talk about it. Now, the Page of Wands, which is how you're behaving, doesn't really have a problem with that. In fact, I think they're quite good orators. And like I said, they have a very philosophical way of dealing with life, and this can only add to your philosophy. Now, this doesn't have to be romantic. This can be somebody feeling unwell or just feeling unloved or left out. And but that's usually the Five of Pentacles. But I do want to throw it out there just in case. It doesn't have to be a breakup, but it can also be like physical injury. This would have already happened because this is, again, healing from the situation. Okay. I hope you are doing well. I hope this has helped. I do feel like conversation is necessary. It's an eclipse, so it is a bit of a heavy energy. But still, with the star card, and even that Six of Swords, we get through it and can be better for it if we give ourselves enough time. Okay. Be well. I'll return in 2 weeks with a new moon reading, and I do dailies. Take good care. Bye.